today we're going to be making mini apple crumb pies. So to start off with, you're just going to take some pie crust. I cheated and bought the rolled up refrigerated kind. And I cut them into little circles. I just used, hold on, let me grab the bowl I used. This little bowl to cut them out. You might have to play around. I tried a glass, but it was too small. So just cut out your pie crust in a circle. And you can be neat about putting this in, but nobody at my house really cares. They're just going to eat them. But if you're making them for something, for special occasion, you know, take your time and put them in. But like I said, we don't care. So I have 12 little mini pie shells here. And I'm going to stick these in the refrigerator while I make the apple filling. And before that, you can use this same recipe to make one like a 9-inch pie, which I've done lots of times, but we kind of like the little mini pies better, so that's what I'm going with. So we're going to start off with 6 cups of apples, and I cut them pretty thin, and I cut them a little smaller than usual. You know how I just cut them, you know, in half, and then each slice in half mostly, just so that, you know, they're smaller and they'll cook a little faster. So to this we want to add 6 cups of apples. Also, I just use whatever apples I have other than Red Delicious. Those turn a little mealy. But today I have Yellow Delicious, Golden Delicious, and Gala, however you say it. So 6 cups of apples, half a cup of sugar. Stir that in. Okay. Then we're going to add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. Put that in. Stir it up. Toss it around pretty well. I missed some apple peel in there, but that's okay. That smells so good already, just the vanilla and apples. Then you need 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm just going to sprinkle that over. And honestly, that is a rounded teaspoon of cinnamon. I like to be a little bit generous with it. Okay, so once you get this all incorporated, I like to cook them down a little because the smaller pies don't cook as long or bake as long. And the apples, you know, sometimes they're, like that one didn't get cut in half. Sometimes they're a little bit crunchy still. So I will put this in the microwave for 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to start with 4. But I have one of those little dinky microwaves. I think it's a 900 watt. So be really careful with it. You don't want to cook them completely. But I just wanted to help them get started a little. So I'm going to stick these in the microwave for, I think I'll start with 3 minutes and then check on them, and maybe up to 4 minutes. So while we're waiting for the apples in the microwave, we can make the crumb topping. Start with ½ cup of butter. Whoops, there's the microwave. Let's start with ½ cup of butter, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup packed brown sugar. I'm using light brown. 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to mix them until they're crumbly. I'm just trying to break that butter down a little bit more. And you don't want to take it too far because you'll make a dough. I've done that before. It still tastes good, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. There we go. That'll work. That's what we're looking for. I know you can't really see them that well, but they are cooked a little bit, and I had them in the microwave for actually 4 minutes. So they're still crispy, but they've just started to cook a little bit. You can skip this step, but sometimes the apples aren't done when the crust is done, kind of thing. So, you know, it's up to you. So this would probably be a good time to turn your oven on to 375. Actually, you probably should have already done that, but you need it at 375 to preheat it. Then I'm gonna just fill each one of these with apples. You can overfill them a little. I just want to put some in each one, and then I'll come back and see if I have extra. And now grab your crumb topping, and I'm just going to use this little scoop and put some on each one. This really is messy, but they come out really delicious. And if you're a neater cook than me, well then good. Then yours will be pretty and delicious. Okay, so we're going to stick this mess in the oven. I'm going to start checking it at 15 minutes, and I will let you know how long it takes in my oven. Actually, first I'm going to clean up the pan a little bit, and then I'm going to stick them in the oven. Here we go, fresh out of the oven. Admittedly, they're pretty ugly, but they are going to taste amazing. You will love them. I'm going to let them cool for a little while in the pan, and then I will take a couple out and let you see what they look like. And here's the finished product. To get them out of the pan, you just need to run a butter knife around the side of the cupcake tin, and then get them out with a fork. You have to be careful. I had a couple break apart on me, but they'll still get eaten. So on top, I also put a little glaze. It's just a little bit of powdered sugar, a drop of vanilla, and a couple of drops of milk, you know, just enough to make it pour. And I put that on top. So let me know if you like this recipe. Give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at LeesHome05. Thanks.